Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited to be here, and I really appreciate your attempt to pronounce our name properly. It's a mouthful. It's Peokuichim, which means the people of the West. And a lot of times people ask me a little bit about the tribes here in San Diego. Many people don't know that there are 18 federally recognized tribes here in San Diego. So that's more than anywhere else in the United States. And we've been here for 23,000 years documented. So that's a very long time. My family, I'm from the Rincon Band of Luceño Indians. We have been here since the inception of the reservations in the 1850s. But even before that, the land that we are on, we've been on for a very long time. So our territory goes from La Jolla, California, all the way up past San Clemente out to the Channel Islands and to Catalina. So we had at one time millions of people living on this land, and many people know the history of, the fact that we were taken over, there was genocide, and then we were pushed onto these reservations during the Indian Removal Act. So this is not too far removed, and I think that's one of the things that makes the Native American population, the indigenous people of North America, so special is because we are the smallest minority group on our own land, but yet we've been here. I mean, this country is not even 250 years old yet, so you put it into context. But my backstory is my parents met in the 60s in San Francisco. My father was a tribal member and is a tribal member from Rincon. And during the 60s, they were trying to remove kids from the reservations in hopes that they would assimilate into these big cities. So my dad moved from Rincon with his family to San Francisco, where my mom lived. My mother, she's half Chinese, half Dutch. And they met, they were both activists. My mom was kind of a hippie artist, and my dad was part of the American Indian movement, AIM. So he was one of the first people at Alcatraz in 1969. So I come from a very rich family of activism. And then I was born. So then fast forward, they were young. That marriage didn't last super long, maybe about 5 years. So I lived off and on the reservation. And the reason I give you that backstory is because the identity, when you are a Native American person, there's a very, because of genocide, people have had generational trauma for a really long time. And so growing up as a kid, I didn't really understand my place in the world. My native roots were very strong, spending time with my dad, with my cousins on the reservation. But reservation life was really hard, and there was no money. My grandparents had a dirt floor. People were living off of commodity boxes. It was a really, really rough time for Native Americans because although we were fairly close to a city, you're really not part of the actual landscape, if you will. So my journey to creating Native Beauty really started from my daughter and I going to a Sephora and recognizing that there was no representation in the beauty space. And that, giving you the short version, but that led me to realize there was a need within the beauty industry, not only to bring something amazing to beauty, but also to create representation for that next generation so they could see themselves in the beauty space. And that's really how it all started.
You're exactly right. It is shocking to me still that we really have almost no representation of almost no representation of Native Americans in anything that we see in modern American culture. There's barely a mention of it, and certainly you don't see it in marketing or advertising, or even like you said, products that are created with that in mind, the culture and what it means. I think there's just so much that we could do to really, I'm not just saying repair the past, but really start honoring more of where we came from and where we are now that we are such a collective society, and that is something that I definitely hope for the future that we see more of in a world that seems so divided, especially now. It's like we do have a collective history together, and it would be great if moving forward we could do more to honor that and I think just have more awareness and conversations about it. So again, like I said at the beginning, I was so excited when I was introduced to you because I was like, oh wow, she's right. I've never seen any Native American products on the market. What is going on there? Like, what could we possibly learn? And just to give you a little bit of my family history, I actually do have some family in Montana. So I've been up there. They live very close to some of the some of the reservations, sorry. So I've seen the struggle of the people there, and they're very aware of it about what has happened and what's going on. And, besides like a little gift shop around, it's like you still, even in those parts, you don't hear much about the conversation.